Yes, guys, this is nearly last and welcome. In this video, what we're going to be doing is another class setup video where we're going to be focusing around the M8A7. This is one of the kind of class setups that I like to run with this particular weapon. I do like to use other ones as well, so make sure you're subscribing and liking this particular video. Then you can come back and check out some of the other classes that I actually like to run. Now, starting off with the attachments that we are actually running in this particular gameplay, as you can see, we're using the ELO sight. Now, I've got a bit of a love and hate relationship with the iron sights on this gun, so for me in particular, I would like to be running with some form of red dotted sight. So for me, my favorite one in this particular game has got to be the ELO, so I'm going to be sticking that one on. Second attachment is going to be quick draw, especially with the burst weapons. We need to be getting that weapon up as fast as we possibly can, especially if we get caught out in those close quarter areas. We want to be making sure we get those bursts on target straight away, especially if people are coming onto you with an SMG or anything else like that. Then moving on to the third attachment, which is going to be long barrel. Obviously that it doubles your effective maximum range, and for me personally, if we're going to be keeping people off from medium to longer ranges, we want this gun to absolutely excel, and that is where that long barrel attachment is going to come into play very, very well. Then moving on to the very last attachment that we're going to be running, and that is rapid fire. As we already know, this M8A7 has been changed quite a few times with Treyarch. Obviously the fire rate has finally been properly nerfed to death, and with that in regards, we do need to be getting those bursts on target a lot faster. Obviously, because there's no boots on the ground in this particular game, people are going to be jumping up and around and everything else, so we want to be making sure straight away that if we miss the first burst, we can just pump it out and just keep moving through the cycle of the burst as fast as we possibly can, because for me personally, if you do miss the first lot, rapid fire really does become very essential once you're actually using this particular weapon. Now moving on to the actual secondary weapon that we will be running with, and that is the RK5. Now this particular gun is going to help us out in closer quarters. Now if we get caught up and a lot of people are trying to rush us at once, we can switch to our secondary, get our pistol out straight away, then we can start downing some enemies, because one thing with the M8A7, it does lack at close range, especially if you miss those first shot targets. You come up against anyone with a VMP or anything else like that, they're just going to melt you away straight away. So this is where that RK5 pistol can certainly help you out. Now moving on to the actual perks. Now we're going to be running with Ghost. That's to help us flank around and everything else with this kind of perk. That way we can just make sure that we can sneak up onto the enemy the best way that we possibly can, because there's nothing worse than when people are spamming UAVs and everything else like that. If we can't flank up and around, we're constantly getting caught out. If people are rushing us, especially when we've got a burst weapon, it can become a lot harder to actually use. Then we're going on for perk 2. Now perk 2, we're going to be running with fast hands. Obviously, as I said before in previous videos, that's going to complement the quick draw, help us get that weapon up as much as we possibly can, and just give us those better chances if people come up on us very quickly. Then moving on to perk 3. Now that is dead silence. Now for me personally, when we want to switch out between awareness and dead silence, I personally want to be running with dead silence. I want to be flanking so they can't actually hear me. I do run with a headset and everything else like that, so I should normally be able to pick people up who aren't running with dead silence, which helps me out no end. So for me personally, definitely stick with dead silence, and this is probably the best kind of way to go. But coming up on your screen now is the actual class setup for you guys to put into your creative class. Go and try this out. It does work very effectively. This is just one of the class setups, like I say, guys. And then coming up on my screen now is going to be my subscribe button. Make sure you jump on that, please, guys. Come back and check out plenty more videos that I'm going to be running with Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty 2016. But anyway, guys, this is going to be nearly last, and I'll catch you later.